Imagine graduating high school, turning 18, and suddenly being responsible for bills, credit cards, and loans without ever being taught how any of it works. Today, I want to talk about why financial literacy should be required in high school. This matters because every single one of us will deal with money. The decisions we make early can affect us for years. This topic is very personal to me because, as someone who grew up in poverty and has been on my own since the age of 17, I didn't learn about credit or finances until I was already dealing with real consequences, those consequences including debt from school loans. Today, I'll explain why students lack financial knowledge, why parents alone can't teach it, and how this leads to real life financial problems. Because many adults lack basic financial knowledge, requiring financial literacy education in high school would be better prepare students to manage money, avoid debt, and make responsible financial decisions throughout adulthood. Many adults graduate from high school knowing how to solve algebra problems or write essays, but they have never been taught how to build credit, avoid debt, or manage their money. Financial literacy is an essential life skill, yet it is not required in most high schools across the United States. I believe financial literacy should be a required course because students need practical knowledge to make responsible financial decisions in adulthood. At some point in life, every person must manage money, whether it's paying bills, taking out loans, saving for retirement, or using credit cards responsibly. Financial decisions affect nearly every aspect of adulthood. I think that if I had learned financial literacy skills earlier in life, it could have substantially made a difference in my financial decisions. I will explain three important reasons why financial literacy should be required in high school. First, many young adults graduate without basic knowledge. Second, the lack of financial education leads to poor financial decisions and unnecessary debt. And third, requiring financial literacy courses would better prepare students for real world financial responsibility. To begin, it is important to understand just how many people lack basic financial knowledge. Many young adults graduate from high school without basic financial knowledge. Many students do not understand key financial concepts such as credit scores, retirement accounts, and budgeting. Only 31% know what a credit score is, and mere 17% know the definition of a 401k. Weaver. Financial stress is already affecting students before they graduate high school. I can attest to this. I was a high school student who already experienced a significant amount of financial stress before even making it to college. More than 40% of teens report that stress about money affects their school performance. Weaver. Despite the importance of financial knowledge, many schools do not require students to take financial literacy courses. Only 17 states require a personal finance class to be taken. I found that very interesting and concerning. Now that we know how many students lack financial knowledge, it is important to consider where they are expected to learn these skills. Relying only on parents to teach financial literacy is not always effective. Many people assume financial education should happen at home, but this is not always realistic. 63% of parents said they teach financial literacy, but 41% of students said their parents actually do. This was according to the article by Weaver. Research shows that children often learn financial behaviors by observing their parents, which can be incidental or incomplete. Children learn the bulk of their financial behaviors, attitudes, and knowledge at home by watching and listening to their parents. That is from the article from Gardner. Not all parents have the knowledge or resources to teach financial literacy effectively. So while some parents are able to teach their children about financial literacy, everyone doesn't have that opportunity or that access because some parents don't even know about financial literacy themselves. So, how can they teach it to their children? Several instructors indicated that parents wish they had taken a class when they were in high school. Because of these gaps, schools play an essential role in ensuring all students have equal access to financial education. A cooperative effort between formal education and learning at home would produce the best outcomes, according to the article by Gardner. Because financial education is not always consistently taught at home, the lack of knowledge can lead to serious consequences in life. I can attest to this. A lack of financial literacy leads to real world financial problems that could be prevented through education. Many young adults enter college already facing financial challenges. 28.2% have a credit card, and 23.7% have more than $1,000 in debt. Students often develop unhealthy financial habits due to lack of understanding. 60% find it okay to incur an overdraft fee if they can pay it off later. This is how a lot of people mess up with the credit cards. Instead of building up their credit, they become in debt because they feel like, oh, this is free money. I can just swipe the card. I can swipe it and go buy things. Yeah, you can swipe the card and buy things. However, you have to pay the money back. And most people don't realize that it's collecting interest. And so when you might have only spent $800 on something, it becomes substantially more because you now have interest. And your credit card, you should only be at 30%. A lot of people don't know that. Financial stress and debt can have long-term effects on an individual's life. More than 79% of students surveyed worry about debt. Financial literacy education has been shown to improve financial behaviors and outcomes. Students who had financial education had lower rates of credit delinquency and higher rates of budgeting. Budgeting is definitely a course that should probably be taught on its own as well. Given these serious consequences, it becomes clear that financial literacy education should not be optional but required. Today, we discussed how many young adults lack financial knowledge, why relying only on parents is not enough, and how financial illiteracy can lead to serious financial consequences. This is something that I am all too familiar with as someone who is a current college student and has acquired a significant amount of debt. Even though I feel like I am financially literate, I feel like there were still things that possibly could have been done to avoid the substantial amount of debt that I have collected only from my current time in college. Because as I went to a technical college, I did not incur any debt. At the same time, requiring financial literacy in high school would give students the knowledge and skills they need to make responsible financial decisions and avoid unnecessary debt. I feel like this will help tremendously as sometimes many students have adult lives, if that makes sense, where they have to take on the responsibilities of the household or help out their parents or their mother or their father because they may come from a single parent household and they want to help their parents with the burden of bills and whatnot. So therefore, they become in the debt, unfortunately. Or whereas sometimes parents put bills and things in their children's names because their credit is messed up. So yes, financial literacy is not just another subject. It is a real life skill. If we expect young adults to succeed in the real world, then we must give them the tools to do so before they are forced to learn about it the hard way. This is essentially me saying that you don't want your children or students to go out into the world and acquire all this debt and won't be able to buy a house or obtain them a vehicle and have the opportunity to live a comfortable life because they're in debt because they've been maxing out credit cards or being irresponsible with finances. My name is Elisa Kincaid. Thank you for watching this presentation on why financial literacy should be taught in high school.